Alright, so hello, my name is Scott Kekel, and this will be my video blog for Info 4880, the capstone course for information technology. So my goal was to do a video a week for every week in the class. However, I kept pushing it off, saying, nah, I'll do it next week. I'll do it next week. So that didn't pan out like I wanted it to. Kind of wanted it to be like that, but here we are. So before I get into talking about the projects and class as a whole, or class in specific, I should say, I'm going to talk about what my ideas were coming into this class. Because, you know, it was the capstone, and I heard about it. Uh, for a while, I knew about it. I knew it was the last course you're going to take, and it was going to be a little toughy. So I remember the first day of class, we were talking about what we expected from the class, what the capstone was. And a lot of people said, a capstone is a course where it takes everything you've learned and put it together. My jaw dropped. I did not expect it. I did not ever think it was like that. And I was terrified for a minute because I thought, is this really going to be the class where I have to take everything I learned, every class, and do something about it? Because if I knew that, I wouldn't have signed it up for all the other classes I did, because those were pretty hard too. But my idea of a capstone course was sort of like a writing intensive, but that's coming from when I went to Kent. Their When you look at their final course, it specifically states that this is a writing intensive course. So yeah, that's what I thought, or at least I don't know, a hard class in general. That's what I thought it was going to be. I didn't really have too specific ideas about it. All I knew is I had to take it, so I'm here. I'm going to do it. Gotta do what I gotta do. So yeah, that's what my premise was for the capstone. Uh, After that, he basically explained it's a resource intensive class, or research, not resource, research. And I get it. I mean, close to writing, I don't know. But yeah, so that made sense and all. So now getting to the class on the whole semester as a whole, and you know what we've done and what I thought about each step. I'll start with project one. It was let me pull up the requirements here. It was a simple. He said it was like get your feet in the water type of project, which it kind of was, kind of wasn't, depending on your view, depending on how you are. It was a simple 50. Well, simple. It was a low 50 pointer, and so I thought, 50 points, not too shabby, not too bad. It won't be that hard. And I didn't think it was the research end of it. I didn't think it was hard. It was the paper, which was I hate writing papers, so it's not my forte. But I tried it anyway. Well, I tried. I had to, so it doesn't matter. So I went ahead and did it. Of course, as it was a small 3-page paper. I saw it. I'm like 3-page, easy, done in one day. ACM or IEEE format, that changed the game. Because that's not 12-point double space like what most of us are probably used to, because that's all we did in classes. That's what our English classes taught us back in high school. 12-point font, double spaced, 3 pages doesn't equal a lot. IEEE single spaced and around 9 or 10 font. That takes, like, if you're comparing the two, a 3-page paper and IEEE is probably at least a 6-page paper in double spaced. So that's the way I saw it, because I don't like paper lengths. But I did it, and we had to research 3 different websites: the NORAD, the iGEM, and the D-Wave systems, and come up with a bunch of criteria like major components, an IPO analysis, cost analysis, an SDLC analysis, and a quantitative analysis. So looking back on it, I want to do that paper now instead of this final paper. So easy. Get it done. But at the time, I was like, what does this all mean? What is what is an SDLC? I mean, I heard about it once in a class. That was back in Kent, but that's when I dropped. And so I knew what SDLC was. I didn't know much about it. I didn't know how to do an analysis, especially because when I was researching about how to do an analysis, I was really confused. Like, there are so many development life cycles. What am I supposed to base my analysis on? Like, the general outline of, how it's requirements, design, maintenance, testing, and all that? Or am I supposed to pick a specific model and go through the steps and analyze it? So that was pretty confusing for me. It was tough getting into, but it wasn't. I don't consider this a step your feet in the water type deal. You get chucked in the dump, or you get chucked at the deep end of the pool. Well, almost deep. It wasn't too bad compared to the other ones because it was smaller. But it did. You really help get an idea of what this class was, what an SDLC was, how they worked. Especially because we use those on every single project, because that's what the whole class was about. And I did fairly well. I got more points than what they were worth. I think everybody did. So I mean, I guess I hope that means we all did good. But I think we had a while to do this. I think we had almost 3 weeks to do this project. 2-3 weeks. I'm not sure on the timing. All I know is that this was one of the lengthiest ones we had. It was due on the 15th of August. Yeah, August. And no, September. I think. Is that what it? September, yeah. The 15th, yeah. September 15th, that was when it was due. And we started in August, so that was, we gave it to us fairly simple, so it'd be 2-3 weeks, I think. We definitely had a good amount of time to work on it. And that was good. But that was pretty much the first project. Going on to the second project was a lot more. We go straight from 50 points to 250, which 250 points was, of course, the standard for the next couple projects. Snowplows. And yeah, so it took 50-point project, and then now one component of this is 50 points. So it definitely changed the game a little bit, up to my worry, because of course throughout the entire semester I was constantly like, oh no, what am I gonna do? Freak out a little bit. But this time we had to pick a couple models and compare them, and then apply them to an RFQ and give our recommendation on which model to use. So that was another step foot into SDLCs, of course, but specifically what SDLCs to choose from and how many there could be out there and how different they are. So that I thought that was I want to say neat, but not really. We got involved with what a UML is, a bunch of diagrams, which this is the first time, the first project we were introduced to, IPOs and analysis and SDLCs as a whole. This project, our UMLs were new. We didn't know anything about, so that was a little hectic. I mean, we had a little grasp on an SDLC, but no grasp on the UML. So that was kind of the learning curve for this paper. I chose the waterfall and spiral model. I chose the waterfall model because I thought it would be the simplest. I'm not gonna lie. That's why I chose that one. I knew it had its cons before I went into it, but I figured, it's pretty still widely used and known by a lot of people. So I figured, let's give it a try. Let's see what it's all about. And then the spiral model, which everyone had to do. We didn't have a choice on that one. The spiral model confused me. I'm not gonna lie. I took a look at it. It took me a couple days just sitting there looking at it, looking at all this research I had on it, and it took me a while to process all this loops and the steps, and each loop does one thing. The first loop is different than the last loop. You don't always do every loop. Sometimes you do too many loops. All that mumbo jumbo. So that was a little thrown out, and I wasn't so sure. A little confused. But apparently, yet again, I did pretty well on it, which I was surprised. The UMLs, I thought I didn't do too hot on them, but I guess they were okay. Because, you know, of course, it was the first time I ever did it, so I was going to be a little bit worried about how I did them. And I'm glad I chose the waterfall model because it made my life a little bit easier. And what's the word I'm looking for? All the people that chose harder ones, like Rad or Agile or Incremental, I applaud them. That's definitely paying off now, definitely on the final project, because you have to know them. So I still have to do my research on them now. But during that time, whatever. So I believe that was it. Of course, it was IEEE again, or ACM. I think I choose ACM for most of them. Yeah, all of them, I think. Kind of kept the same outline from the first time. So why change it when they said that was fine? 6 pages. I immediately equated that to at least 12 pages of what I know. So I was always a little bit worried about that because, like I said, I ain't too hot at papers. Don't like them. But I know I gotta do them. So I did them. Got it done. Oh, for the RFQ, that was a new thing too. Like, we were given an RFQ and an SOW, and translating between both of them was confusing. I don't think I used the RFQ one, really. It was the SOW, the statement of work, that really helped, you know, outline it. It took me a little bit while to process that and see how that worked as a whole. And of course, you know, at the end of the paper, you're supposed to recommend which model to use, and I did the spiral, because the waterfall. Chuck that aside. Moving on to the third project. The third project is where we started to actually really get into the real deal. You know, throughout the whole course, man, Cameron, the amount of times you said, I like to do real world. Real world. I ain't doing any of that book stuff. We finally did a real world project where we took something that was out there that was being requested and asked for by a real company and applied these development life cycles and applied what we've done so far in Project 1 and Project 2 and everything that you've read in the book and whatnot. And we had to look at an ad trap system. And all we had to go on was the video. Oh boy, that video. I don't know if you intended it to be that kind of quality where everybody was talking, there was a whole bunch of noise going on. You were talking to him, somebody over here was talking to you, and you're talking about a bunch of different stuff. I wasn't sure if that's what you're going for, you know, throws for a loop or not. I don't know. But I had to watch the video at least 5 times, I think. Or maybe not even that many, maybe like 3 or 4. And take notes the entire time. And after that, after like the 4th, 5th time, I'm like, I got what I got. And so I was done with the video. Because it's definitely hard sometimes to understand what he was saying, too. So that's another reason I had to watch it a couple times. Right. Again, we had no paper this time. Oh, I love that. No paper. I mean, ended up being like proposals and kind of like a report type deal on specifications and requirements, but it's more applied, I guess. I don't know what the right word is for that. But I don't have to do some IEEE or write some papers going up. There's no requirement like lengthwise. I just, you know, this is what I got, this is what I figured out, here you go. So that was nice. I like that a lot. And then, of course, you know, you had to come up with a design for the system. I think they basically wanted some sort of PR type deal, going with if I remember back, how they could get more consumers, because they were looking at Adahoop, or not Adahoop, that's Trap. It was a Hajuka. I remember because it took me a while to figure out that that's how what he was saying in the video, Hajuka. And there was like 250 of those, and we had to look at his website. That website in that video was circa 1990, definitely. And which, you know, he's trying to update that, so you know that's what it was, and that was our job to say, you know what, it's time to update that. There wasn't many tabs, there wasn't many explanations. The buy was through a PayPal thing on the side. I didn't like it. There was in the part in the video that there was this other website out there that somebody created for him, so I didn't know what was going on with that, if he was going to use it or not, or when he was going to implement it, if he ever was. And again, we had to come up with UML designs and all that. I guess my thought when UML wasn't that good. So that was basically Project 3. So on to Project 4. The one that he kept saying, I'm going to grade you tough. You ain't going to like me after this. I think he liked to... Coming to an end here, I think he got enjoyment out of scaring us a little bit, because he kept saying, oh, I got all these bad reviews as professor at the beginning of the class, and everybody hates me because I work them really hard, and sometimes they don't like the way I'm doing things. And he kept saying Project 4 is where I'm really going to get you guys. You're really going to hate me after that. So, of course, going into it, I think everybody was a little bit nervous. Everybody was a little bit scared. I think we had maybe a week, 2 weeks. I don't think we had a lot of time because Project 3 was just finishing up. Presentations were just finishing up because they took a while. Presentations took a while in this class. We had to give them on Project 1 and Project 2. And they basically took up the whole semester. One presentation a day. So that was, sorry for the shaky video. I like to hit the table a lot. But, yeah, presentations took a while. So it's a good thing he didn't do any more, or we would still be in the class after graduation, or after the end date. But anyways, on to Project 4. It wasn't a good one for me. It really wasn't. I didn't think it was. I was sick most of the time on this project, so you know, my energy just wasn't there. But well, like for Project 3 and Project 4, we were supposed to, you know, email, reach out to people, and I did. I emailed both of them. The first email, we didn't get the correct email, so I never got an email back in time. He did emailed me back like a week after it was due, but it's too late. But good thing I kind of inferred what he might say, and most of it was correct. But Project 4, I wasn't one of the first ones to send an email out. I know I talked to a couple people in the class, and they said, I think there's like 2 or 3 of them maybe, that they said, oh yeah, they emailed the Crawling to Destiny people, and it took maybe a day or 2 to get an email back. So I'm like, all right, awesome. So this person's going to email us back pretty quickly. I sent it out 5 days before the project's due. Oh, you know, because we didn't have a lot of time on it. So yeah, it took me a while to actually spend time putting this email together. You know, at a whole bunch of questions, whole bunch. And I still have yet to this day, not gotten an email back from them. So I don't know if they just thought, you know, well, we'll answer a few of them and that's it. They have enough. Maybe they can share their answers. I don't know what their thought process was, but we never got an email back. So that was that. So yeah, again, no paper, no presentation. Basically, coming up against with UMLs again for the 3rd time in a row now. And also a specification and requirements phase, 2nd time for that. So that was fairly simple. We've done that. We've been through the rocks. We know what that is. So we did it. But this time, I think the main goal was each project I sensed there was something new. First was introduction, SDLC. Second was UMLs, SDLC again. Third one was real life, applying it to real things, specifications and requirements, kind of type new thing. And this time it was project management. That's, I think, was the focus on it. So we had to produce a Gantt chart, and I can't remember what the other charts were called. WBS sheets, work breakdown structure, work breakdown sheet, and a PERT chart. So that was new. That's what we had to do in this project. And so that's what I spent most of my time doing. I was a little worried about it. I use LibreOffice. Amazing. I think I did the Gantt chart, I want to say, the Gantt chart. And from that Gantt chart, they put together my PERT chart and my work breakdown sheet chart. So it was definitely nice, definitely easy. Yeah, definitely easy. But like I said, I didn't think I did so good, and especially since he said he was going to be grading it structurally, I was worried. And it took a while to get back. And when I was sitting in class, when he's handing them back, and he said, "Oh yeah, 2 people got zeros, some people got hundreds and something." I'm sitting there like, "What did I turn in? I think I only turned in like 2 sheets maybe, and they were crap." So I was worried. But then I got it back, and I realized I actually did put in, I think, a decent amount of work, and I did pretty good. So I was really happy about that, because I was a big worry for a little while there. So I thought I did not do so good on it. That was project 4, and to kind of wrap this up video quickly, because it was only supposed to be 20 minutes, and I'm over that. Quickly, the final project. We've been working on that for the past couple of weeks. I think we had a month at it, and if you count not spring break, I wish. Thanksgiving break. If you count that week, So we've been working on it. Still got to do my video for that. Still got to make sure everything gets tidied up and clean for Friday. And that's my next video I got to do here shortly. Yeah, throughout the course, I knew it was going to be a little bit work intensive. I was a little bit worried. Cameron said you said you were tough, and you weren't going to like, we weren't going to like you, and it was a little bit rough. But coming at the end, of course, I'm already close to the end, so I can say that the rest of it wasn't too terribly difficult. When I was going through it, I was stressed the entire time. I had big help from Miranda. Me and her kept texting back and forth through a lot of the projects and about what she wanted when we were confused, and so that was big help. So yeah, overall it was an interesting ideal. It was definitely one of my most memorable classes, my most stressful, of course, which I knew coming into it probably was going to be, because it was the capstone. And that's pretty much it. I don't want to be mean, but I can't wait for this class to be over. Mainly because school will be over for a while for me, at least, hopefully. Just take a break from the stress. But yeah, it was an interesting event. I will remember this for a long time to come. And I did learn a lot of useful stuff. Definitely, SDLCs, they're interesting. I didn't hate them. I did find interest in them. So maybe it might be something I do in the future if I do more teaching of myself and research. But yep, that's pretty much it. And that is my video blog for this semester.